All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Blacksmith Podcast, where we forge men. I'm your host, Will B. And today we are going to continue going over the second half of this Boxable earnings call. Now, I'm going to put a link in the video. Why the second half? Because there was obviously a first half. I'm going to put a link in the video to the Discord live that was done this past Saturday, of the first part. If you missed it, you missed an absolute gem. So I'm going to need you to go on to the page and hit playlists and hit videos. And that Boxable call is on there. Now, what is Boxable? Boxable is a modular home company. It's everywhere. If you've seen YouTube commercials, they have them all over the place. Ads they're running. They're a private company that's about to do a merger to become a public company, but they are solving a crisis. See a need, fill a need. That's how an invention comes about. And they are filling the housing need because there's a major housing crisis in America right now, with the average home being 416, about 520K, of course. And Boxable start at 19,000 or 20,000, I should say. 60,000. They're in between there, right? And they're tiny homes, but that's everything you need. Anyway, this guy right here is the CFO. I forgot his name, but I will get his name for you. I'm going to play the video so you can start hearing. Now, what he's doing, he's got the headphones on because in the second half of the video, he started answering questions from the audience, okay? So that's where we're going to pick this up, all right?
Let me see, what else do we have? You guys are writing too many that I cannot read. The next one is overriding the previous one. Give me a second.
He has quite the accent.
Whereby the goals are like casitas win rated. Yes, so casitas are win rated. There is only few states, and indeed they are not few states. It's few areas within states that the casita is not able to perform, like Miami-Dade. The good news is that the new generation, the steel frame, will perform. But honestly, it's very, very few small areas that we cannot deploy casita right now.
All right. So basically what he's talking about here, the audience they're just lightning around asking him questions. They ask was the casita win rated. If you don't know what the casita is their flagship product. It is a 391 square foot home right here. And look, it can be unfolded in a backyard in less than a day. It can also be used to make workforce housing, affordable housing, military housing, yada, yada. It includes a washer, dryer, fridge, stove, bathroom, kitchen, outlets, HVAC, and more. So it's 391 square feet, and this one costs $60,000. That's it. So if you didn't know, now you know. Gentlemen. All right, back to the earnings call. Oh, but he said they're win rated in most of the places that they can sell them. Win rated meaning can they stand up to like turbulent winds, high winds. And he said the only place they're not is Miami-Dade. If you don't know about Florida, from June 1st to November 30th, they have a whole season dedicated to natural disasters. Hurricanes, tornadoes, it rains, alligators, floods, all kinds of stuff. So that's what he's talking about. It's not Boxable's fault it rains alligators.
There is some chance, but the deal maker keeps saying under approval. Yeah, when you have any issue on your investment, we have a team on Boxable that they are ready to answer you. Just contact us. They will help you. Even if it's a question with the deal maker, maybe instead of calling the deal maker, just call us or send us an email. We will be happy to coordinate whatever you need. Is the thing for Alexis? That's good. Is it private investment only, or you will on the market soon? right now, in order to be able to sell your stocks, you need liquidity, so you cannot do it. Certainly, in the long run, the company, as I said, is looking for new ways to add liquidity. One of them could be going public, but we don't know at this stage. Is a hope. We are not allowed by the SEC regulations to give any, looking for a statement. How and when going to catch up on the outstanding orders?
Okay, so he went over a couple questions, and I didn't really catch it because he's lightning rounding these things. So that last question was, he was talking about they're not public yet; they're a private company. My camera's over here. Here we go. They're a private company right now. So if you're talking about shares and all that kind of stuff, you can invest online at Boxable's website. I just showed it to you. If you want to invest, you got to do it before June 24th because time is running out for you to get in. So Boxable.com, Boxable without the E, right? And time is running out to become an investor in this. It's only June 24th and then it's over. Okay, right there. 7 days, 9 hours, 29 minutes, and 50 seconds. So you have a week left to invest into Boxable. Let's get it. Why invest in the Boxable? Because right now you can invest with as little as, let me get my calculator, as little as $1,000, and they're 80 cents a piece. So I did go over this, but I'm gonna do it for y'all. So you can invest with as little as $1,000, and they're 80 cents a piece. So you would get 1,250 shares. I realized I put multiplication. I wasn't understanding. I'm like, I know I should have done this right. Should have been 1,250. It's you divide it anyway. That's how many shares you would get. So now, if this company merges with another company and it IPOs at $20, let's do the math, right? So let's say $20 minus your 80-cent initial investment, and then multiply that by 1,250. You would have $24,000, right? So investing in this is a great idea. All right, let's keep going.
As already mentioned about that, I'm in California. I want to be part of the team. I am a superstar. Nice, that's cool. So you just can contact us online. You can send us your resume. We're very happy to onboard superstars.
All right, he's lightning around in these questions, but they're even allowing you to apply. They have employment opportunities. He said, nice. Now, if you couldn't see, his name is Martin Costas. It's right down here where it says bar chart. I'm going to unpause it, but you can see his name. He is the Chief Financial Officer for Boxable.
Anyway, just to bring revenue from development. Are there any other ideas to bring revenue? Yeah, honestly, the expectation on revenue, I think it has been overstated by the stakeholders. The reason, because in the college said, hey, our first contract was 150 units going to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. It's because that was driving a lot of excitement, especially when you have a startup company. Everybody see a big line on the sun that it is a pre-revenue, after revenue. So the initial excitement, I think we developed was, oh, these guys are going with a big contract already, revenue is coming. The reality is you need to understand that this is the first, big contract of a new product, and consequently we learned tons out of that contract. Those units, they went to a very aggressive environment, and they were the first units that we were actually manufacturing. So we improved a lot the product out of that feedback, and actually the product that we have today is a consequence of all that feedback, right? Then the approval process. in US, we spent all 2023 to get approved in Arizona. It's a long process. And then we get approvals faster because also we learn about the process and the product. It is a better product to be approved faster. So I don't see that the revenue is low. I think that the revenue is keeping the natural phase or pace that we need to have. We see a lot of opportunities on the verticals, as I said, depending on the products that we have, depending where we can go faster. So Casita can go faster to workers' accommodations, Airbnb, ADU, hospitality, universities for student accommodations, and so on. Then we have other products like Steel Frame 20 by 30, 20 by 40 that it is having a lot of attention for big developers. So we're entertaining conversations with those guys, and we're not actually signing contracts because we want to build a nice volume before kicking off the production of that product. Baby Box has a different market, and as well as Shed. Shed is a very competitive product also. And that is really interesting also. I encourage you to go online, find out what is the cost of installing, I don't know, an ADU in California versus our cost, and you will be surprised on how competitive we are. And the same is occurring with the other products. So I think revenue will naturally come. We are not in a market that we sell a phone that it can be delivered tomorrow. These projects, they need financing, permitting, land preparation. It's not going to occur overnight. But I do encourage you to pay attention to our reports when we talk about contracts on hand. And I said that we have about 200 units under contract. Typically, those contracts, they have a down payment, so it's a serious customer. So it's very difficult to see that those contracts are not going to be delivered. And again, we went to 10x 2023 to 2024 to $3.5 million, but as Q1 today, we have 200 units. I don't remember the pricing on all those units, but certainly should be around $10 million plus for future revenue already on contracts.
All right, there's a lot to unpack there, right? So what he basically said to someone's question, which was, "Hey, why is the revenue so low?" Basically, right? And so he said, "Our revenue is not low." He said, "Our revenue is actually right on schedule. We're building it up as we go." You cannot treat a private company, a startup. They've only been around since 2017, folks. You can't treat them like it's NVIDIA. You can't treat them like it's, well, I was going to use Hood, but they've been around even less time, 2021. You can't treat them like Microsoft. You can't treat them like Apple. You can't treat them like Pepsi or Coke. You can't. They haven't been around that long. They have not had time to get the roots in the ground. He talked about the Guantanamo Bay, Cuba contract with the military. Excuse me. And he said they put those 150 units there in an inclement weather environment that was really going to test them, and they learned a lot from it. But he guaranteed his product because he said, "I'll tell you what, you look up the average cost of an ADU in California, and look what we found here: $200,000 to $400,000. So now, look up what it takes for a baby box is $20,000. A casita, studio casita, is $60,000. That's going to do it for this video, folks. I'm going to get to another part of that video in the next video. Like, share, subscribe, and you still have a week to invest in Boxable, the blacksmith.